This is CTV News with Nafisa Kareem.
He knew that he was being released, and 2 hours later he was dead.
Tonight, calls for change from a Nanaimo widow who says her husband died just hours after being released from the hospital.
We like to say that our secret ingredient is actually Vancouver Island. The water, the pristine water that we use in our whiskey, that's really what makes it special.
A first for Canadian whiskey. A Vancouver Island distillery brings home top spot on the world whiskey stage. Plus, Adam meets a man inspired by petals while striving to capture their performance on camera. Later on the Sawatsky sign-off. Good evening and thank you for joining us. We begin tonight in Nanaimo, where a woman is calling on the province to change legislation on how people are discharged from hospital with serious mental health concerns after her husband died by suicide. Daisy Bolton says he was released from the hospital without any of his family or friends being notified. A short time later, he ended his life. And a warning, this story deals with the subject of suicide. Here's CTV's Andy Garland.
So this one is a picture of Jesse and I on our wedding day.
Daisy Bolton reminisces of happier times with her late husband, Jesse Flowerdew.
The kindest, most empathetic, loving person that I've ever met in my life.
The 47-year-old struggled with anxiety and depression. Daisy says he checked himself in at the Nanaimo Regional General Hospital a few times recently, the last being a week ago.
He was struggling again. He took himself back to the hospital and again told them that he was thinking about hurting himself.
Daisy says he was taken to the psychiatric unit where he stayed 2 nights, and then on Saturday he was deemed not a threat to himself or others under the Mental Health Act. He was released from hospital.
Nobody knew that he was being released, and 2 hours later he was dead.
In the light of this tragedy, Daisy wants changes to patient release procedures for patients who are admitted under mental health circumstances, and adds all it would take is a phone call to a family member or friend.
One tiny extra step that happens so people aren't alone in the most dire times in their life.
The mental health critic for the province says this isn't an isolated incident.
We've seen a very similar situation play out in many parts of the province, and unfortunately there's a very simple ask here, and it's not being respected.
The change would require legislation, which the opposition has pushed for in the past.
It was actually raised in the legislature last year, and the government decided not to move forward on it, despite promises to work with opposition on it.
CTV reached out to the Ministry of Health, which did not respond in time for our deadline. Island Health tells CTV News, when a patient is deemed capable of directing their own care, it cannot share that information with anyone else unless directed to do so by the patient.
I want his legacy to be a change. He was a very big advocate between all of his friends for mental health.
Jesse leaves an 18 and 23-year-old son and daughter behind. A GoFundMe page has been set up to help his family during their difficult time. Andy Garland, CTV News, Nanaimo.
If you or someone you know needs help, the Suicide Crisis Helpline is available 24 hours a day. To reach that helpline, just call or text 988. If you need immediate assistance, call 911 or go to the nearest hospital. An art installation has opened in downtown Victoria, marking 10 years since BC declared a public health emergency over the toxic drug crisis. The pop-up art show called Naming a Crisis is on the main floor of the Bay Centre and features names and photos of some of the 18,000 people who have died from toxic drugs since the crisis was declared in April of 2016. Organizers say the displays are a powerful memorial of collective grief that challenges the silence and stigma surrounding drug-related deaths.
First and foremost, what we want this space to be is a place to gather and remember and be together on what is really a hard month for a lot of us who are, eating, sleeping, breathing this every day. But yeah, hopefully we can also give people some inspiration for what they can do to move the needle on this issue and move things forward and get some change made so we don't have 18,000 more people die in the next 10 years.
The show is running until April 26th, Tuesday through Sundays, with various events scheduled throughout the month. Soap bar scraps destined for the landfill are being repurposed on Vancouver Island to help people who can't afford hygiene products like body wash, shampoo, and toothpaste. The nonprofit Soap for Hope is teaming up with Country Grocer for Mother's Day to sell these Salish sea soap pebbles in 11 stores between Nanaimo and Victoria. They're made by volunteers like Pat and Feeney, a grandmother-granddaughter duo who care deeply about the cause.
The soap pebbles in particular are really cool because they're taking old factory soap cuts that would have been sent to the landfill and are reusing them and repurposing them into something really unique and really cool.
We do it together and we have fun, and it is such an amazing place to work. Everybody there is absolutely lovely and they treat you like royalty. It's just a beautiful place.
A box of soap pebbles costs $10, with 100% of proceeds going to Soap for Hope. It will help the nonprofit provide hygiene products and fresh linens to local people who need them, from kids to seniors.
So when money runs out, the first thing people cut is hygiene. And it affects their ability to find work. They affect also how people interact with other people. People get isolated. Anxiety is also involved in that, and also they feel ashamed.
This is the first time Soap for Hope has teamed up with a grocery store. The Greater Victoria Distillery says it is the first Canadian whiskey maker in history to win a special international award that was handed out in London, England. McAloney's distillery in Saanich says late last month it won an Icons of Whiskey Award for Global Best Craft Distiller. It was handed out at the World Whiskies Awards, which honor the best of the best. This particular award is specific to the distillery's whiskey maker, Graham McAloney. The honor comes as the team changes things up with a new owner and new CEO as of September. They're building a patio and changing the decor and seating in an effort to make the space more welcoming to everyone and to combat the stereotype that whiskey is most often enjoyed by older men.
There was a real traditional way of the approach of whiskey to the guest experience. There's a certain way that you have to drink the whiskey, taste the whiskey, smell the whiskey. It was almost academic in a sense, where if you were part of the club, you knew what to say for the tasting notes, for the palate, for the finish. We want it to be more fun. We want it to be more open. We want it to be more approachable.
The CEO says the bartenders can walk people through the menu, and now there are cocktails for folks who don't like their whiskey neat. There's no longer a need to slow your roll along the Galloping Goose Trail when approaching Souk Road in Colwood. The bridge connecting the trail over the highway is officially opening this week. Prior to the bridge, trail users would have to travel to Whale Road to cross the highway. Now it's an up and over seamless transition. $3.6 million of the cost came from the Investing in Canada Infrastructure Grant. The pedestrian and cycling counter at the site of the crossing records an average of 6,000 weekly trail users. The YMCA has a new home at the Bay Centre in downtown Victoria, and it opens tomorrow. Straight from the socials, 107.3 Virgin Radio host Johnny Novak walks us through the space.
The new Y is open in the Bay Centre, and here is your first look at some of the amenities. It is 20,000 square feet, located on the top floor of the Bay Centre, where the Good Life used to be. You've got your weights, you've got your cardio machines, you've got the strength machines. They've updated the change rooms. They've got a childcare center as well. There's a big open space for classes too. It comes with parking perks as well. There is a secure bike cage to store your bicycle, and there is 2-hour free parking when you use the parking garage down below. So let us know, will you be checking out the new Y?
Dust off the cowboy boots. A new country music festival is coming to Greater Victoria this summer. The city of Langford has announced the Country Roads Festival, August 29th at Starlight Stadium. The one-day event will feature 2 stages and headlined by 2 Canadian legends, Doc Walker and Aaron Pritchett. The lineup also features Eagle Eyes, an Eagles tribute band, Born Reckless, and local talent Tumblin' Dice and Jameson Rye. Tickets go on sale tomorrow. 16 degrees, beautiful sunshine out there. Josh will be back after the break with the full forecast.
CTV Weather brought to you by Expedia Cruises, customizing dream vacations with unbelievable value. Call or learn more at expediacruises.ca.
Well, Josh, an absolute stunner on the island today. Fingers crossed there's more sunshine to come.
Now, some nice mild temperatures to feast over the course of the next couple of days, and more sunshine to start the day tomorrow. I think we'll see a bit of increased cloud cover later in the day. Here's Friday morning. Sunshine for most areas. A little bit of patchy fog in the north. There's a low pressure system way off to the south. That's going to shove a bit of cloud cover through tomorrow afternoon. Heaviest out on the west coast, and a chance of a couple scattered showers later in the day tomorrow. A little better chance for some showers or some periods of light rain, especially early in the day in Victoria on Saturday. And that'll push north through the course of the day Saturday. There's your fog patches in the north for tomorrow with a mix of sun and cloud. Those showers hold off on Saturday evening or Sunday. You might see a few scattered showers move in from the south. Daytime highs right around average for the next 4 days. And you're going to notice a good chance of some showers or periods of rain for Tuesday right across the island. That would be sort of the next potential storm system to go through. So we'll keep an eye on that. 20 for inland areas tomorrow. Chance of a scattered shower in the afternoon. Hey, you could even make the case that there might be some hit and miss showers on Saturday. Otherwise, just a mix of sun and cloud for the weekend. 18 and 17 for daytime highs. Average is 13. So well above average for Friday and the weekend. Out of the west coast, some increased cloud cover tomorrow and 14 degrees. 13s on Saturday and Sunday. Mostly cloudy for Saturday. A little extra sun breaking through the clouds on Sunday, and then some showers or periods of rain into Monday, Tuesday of next week. In Comox, up to 16 degrees with some sunshine in the morning. Increase in cloud through the afternoon. Chance of a scattered shower in the afternoon or early evening hours on Saturday. And then some clearing for Sunday. Daytime highs still in the mid-teens Saturday and Sunday. Nanaimo, close to 20 tomorrow. About 19 for a daytime high. Sunshine in the morning, increase in cloud through the afternoon hours. 15 and 16 for daytime highs Saturday, Sunday. That's still several degrees above average. 12 degrees is the average daytime high. There's your chance of some scattered showers on Saturday. This doesn't really look like it's going to be heavy, steady, all-day rainfall, but maybe some showers there through the morning or midday on Saturday. And in Victoria, 5 degrees tomorrow morning, 17 tomorrow afternoon. Sunshine in the morning, mixed sun and cloud through the afternoon hours, light wind through the day. Chance of a scattered shower Saturday, especially early in the day, and about 14 in the afternoon, then 16 with the mixed sun and cloud on Sunday. CTV Weather is brought to you by Expedia Cruises for air, land, and sea vacations.
Thanks, Josh. On the second day of a ceasefire with Iran, the shaky deal is facing headwinds as Tehran accuses the U.S. and Israel of violating the ceasefire's terms. With more, here's CTV's Joy Malbon in Washington.
Israel blew up bridges in Lebanon in its battle against Iranian-backed Hezbollah militants. Yesterday's bombings in Beirut, one of the deadliest, says the health ministry, killing hundreds and wounding more. Angering Iran, who insists that attacking Lebanon is off limits and part of the ceasefire.
No ceasefire ever goes without a little bit of choppiness. What we have been very clear about is that we want to stop the bombing. We want our allies to stop the bombing, and we want the Iranians to do the same thing.
The Trump administration asked Israel to scale back. Today, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu authorizing direct talks with Lebanon aimed at disarming Hezbollah and bolstering a shaky truce with Iran that still has a grip on the Strait of Hormuz. Video shows very little traffic moving through the critical oil and shipping route, opening it a key demand from President Donald Trump, who issued a new warning saying the U.S. military will remain in Iran until such time as the real agreement reached is fully complied with. If not, then the shooting starts bigger and better and stronger. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte says the alliance is working with Washington to keep the strait open. President Trump has repeatedly threatened to withdraw from NATO over a lack of support for his war in Iran.
Some allies were a bit slow, to say the least. But what I see when I look across Europe today is allies providing a massive amount of support, basing, logistics and other measures to ensure the powerful U.S. military succeeds in denying Iran a nuclear weapon.
And those high-stakes peace talks set to take place this weekend in Pakistan. The president telling reporters that he's optimistic, adding that if Iran doesn't make a deal, it will be very painful. Joy Melvin, CTV News, Washington.
A flurry of questions today about MP Marilyn Gladu and her decision to join the Liberal caucus. She was a staunch conservative for years with opposing views before suddenly switching allegiance. CTV's Abigail Beeman on what both Mark Carney and Pierre Poilievre had to say about the floor crossing and the possibility of more to come.
The Liberals are in for 4 long years.
A conservative so dyed in the wool she dressed up as Death.
Death is not ready for you.
To pump up her election-defeated colleagues a decade ago. A few years later,
my name is Marilyn Gladu, and I'm running to be the federal leader of the Conservative Party and the next Prime Minister of Canada.
Today's Liberal Prime Minister left explaining how the newly bigger tent Liberal Party absorbs Gladu, a social conservative who fought a bill banning conversion therapy for being too broad and said she'd allow MPs to advance bills restricting abortion.
She will vote with the government if there are votes relating to any aspect of that issue, as well as the rights of Canadians to be their whole selves, to love who they love, and to fully enjoy their rights.
Mark Carney is saying to Canadians, your vote does not count.
In BC, the Conservative leader said constituents should be able to have a by-election after a floor crossing, and he deflected a question about what losing 4 MPs means for his leadership.
87% of grassroots Conservatives who backed up my leadership less than 90 days ago to fight for an affordable, safe, and strong Canada. Our mandate and my leadership does not come from dirty backroom deals.
While the newest federal party leader sees the floor crossings as an opportunity.
They're getting floor crossers from the extreme right, and I don't know what it means to be a Liberal anymore. Canadians need a progressive alternative, and the lane is wide open for the NDP there.
Asked about the possibility of even more floor crossers, which has political circles buzzing, the Prime Minister said in this process he's nearly the last to know. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
Coming up, blooming with positivity, Adam finds out how a Vic West man is being inspired by a performance of Pink Petals. Next on the Sawatsky Sign-Off.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400. From your screen to ours. Text 10400.
Finally, Adam meets a man in Vic West who's feeling inspired by a performance of Petals on the Sawatsky Sign-Off.
In the middle of the street, Wayne Oliver is waiting for the wind.
You have to be quick. So I mostly miss.
Although it's hard to miss that the road is blanketed with blossoms, that the sidewalks are populated with petals, Wayne is anticipating more action.
When these blossoms come out, it's like a cue for a big wind to come up and blow them all over the place and have fun with them.
And while he appreciates all this every spring, this is the first time Wayne's trying to capture the petals being playful.
And remembering where the record button is on your camera, that's the biggest challenge. By the time you get it all up ready, whoops, gone.
But rather than be worried,
the backlit leaves look heavenly.
Wayne's waiting in wonder.
Everyone experiences stress, but it's an art form and how we deal with it.
And after experiencing more than his fair share of stress, Wayne is learning to practice that art daily.
This is part of how I do it, opening your eyes and being present.
In the present, there's no past to regret, no future to fret, and in this particular present, pink possibilities are percolating.
And here we are with a little gust of wind again.
A little gust that encourages a couple petals to play before Wayne captures the wind blowing even bigger, enticing petals to leap from the trees and join their friends in transforming the street into a stage for dancing with wild abandon.
It brings out an element of play. That's really the thing. Just play.
After the flowers frolic, the branches seem to clap their leaves in applause. The sun beams with appreciation, and Wayne feels grateful that he took the time to capture it all.
You look at the news and you see this and that. You know, while all these things go on in the world, I keep on just having fun with the petals, and that sounds simple, but it brings peace.
And you find your day has blossomed into something more magical than you would have imagined. Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Victoria.
The Sawatsky Sign-Off, brought to you by Coastal Community Credit Union. Bank happy at Coastal Community Credit Union.
That is it for CTV News Vancouver Island. Thank you so much for joining us. Good night.